Okay, everybody, we are going to be looking at nationalism around the world. We have covered, I believe, what did we already do? India. And we are going to do Turkey and Africa in the next two videos. This one will be on Turkey. I do think that this is a little bit wallow texty, so I'm going to try to help kind of break it down. So, after World War I, what we're going to remember is this whole area here. One second. Okay, so we're here in the Mediterranean Sea. We have the Ottoman Empire kind of at its peak, going all out into this area that's Iraq, and then here's what is modern-day Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Libya, and then kind of Greece and the Balkan states. Basically, after World War I, the Ottoman Empire shrinks to just this inside of Turkey, and then at that point, it totally and completely collapses. So at the end of the World War I, the Ottoman empires, which was on the Central Powers, collapsed. Remember, the Ottoman Empire was centered in modern-day Turkey, but it had territories around the Mediterranean and the Middle East. After World War I, all right, so the winners kind of got to divide up a lot of the land of the losers. The Ottoman Empire was on the side of the losers. And so what ends up happening is after World War I, Britain and France basically make plans in order to divide the Ottoman Empire into smaller parts. Britain and France. So all these territories that used to be a part of the Ottoman Empire, the winners get to kind of carve them up. Okay, they end up making plans. All right, the Ottoman territories. All right, and so basically what happens is the only thing that's still under Ottoman rule is Turkey, but then what ends up happening is, it was run by the Ottoman sultans, all right, that ends up falling in 1923, and so in 1924, they end up declaring themselves the Turkish Republic. And so we have a person that we need to know, all right, Mustafa Kemal, who is known or called himself Father Turk, okay? Ataturk, Father Turk. Mustafa Kemal came to power, and he attempted to turn Turkey into a modern state, a modern democratic state. Modern democratic. All right, state. This helped Turkey modernize. So let's look at this. He put a democratic system in place, but Ataturk did not tolerate opposition and harshly suppressed his critics. So he puts into place a democracy, good, but he's not really going to tolerate a whole bunch of dissent. He's basically trying to bring Turkey into the modern era, okay? Let's see. Ataturk's changes went beyond politics. Basically, he is doing his very best to crush dissent, and a big part of that is making it a more secular country, secular meaning non-religious, and so he is attempting to break the power of the traditional Islamic religion. So Kemal especially sought to break the power of the Islamic, we will capitalize Islamic, all right, religion. So what ends up happening is he tries to put in all of these reforms. It does move Turkey kind of into the modern era. However, not everyone is buying into this. In practice, not all of his reforms were widely accepted, especially by devout Muslims. Okay, and so one thing to note that these next two slides highlight is that Turkey was one of the first countries in the East and one of the leading countries in the world to grant women the right to vote. So let's look at this quote for a second. To the women, win for us the battle of education, and you will do yet more for your country than we have been able to do. It is to you that I appeal. So women, we need you to be educated so that you can contribute to society. To the men, if moving forward, the women do not share in the social life of the nation, we shall never attain our full development. So men, don't stop this. We need women to contribute for us to be great. We shall remain irremediably, meaning unchangeably, unable, like to remediate something is to make it better, backwards, and it means like backwards, like in old times, incapable of treating on equal terms with the civilizations of the West. So he's saying we need women as a part of this society in order to move forward. And so this is a Canadian political cartoon in Quebec, Canada right to the north, a western country, and so it reads, for the first time in history, Turkish women will vote and be eligible for election to public office in the general election, which takes place this week. And so what we have is that Turkey granted the right to vote to women in 1930s, 10 years before Quebec. All right, and so we see that because Mustafa Kemal wants to kind of push Turkey into the modern era, one of the ways that he wanted to do that was to give women the right to vote and incorporate women into society, which makes a lot of sense, right? Think of all the scientists, the wonderful, if you're cutting out half of the society for whatever reason it is, think about all that you potentially lose with that. That's kind of his point here. So that's what we need to kind of know. That's just our little 2-second thing on Turkey. After World War I broke up the Ottoman Empire, Turkey ends up modernizing. There is Mustafa Kemal, who kind of pushed forward with that. Note that he really kind of crushed a lot of dissent, but did help to modernize Turkey. Women got the right to vote there early.